Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. This is another eyeshadow bingo video, and today we're going to be focusing on the brand Tarte. I have 27 shadows from Tarte. 4 of them are singles. They are Tarte Dark Seas, Revel, Poker Face, and Grind. All 4 of these are either satin or shimmer shades. My first palette is the Tartelette in Bloom palette. This is mostly neutrals. And my other palette is the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette, which has a lot more colorful shimmery shades. So I'm hoping I get a good mix of neutrals and colorful shades. I'm going to start by choosing 3 shades, and then depending on what I get, I might bring in another one. Usually I pick anywhere from 4 to 5 shades to play with. On my Pretty Random app I have 1 to 27, and the first 3 shades are 14, 10, and 18. Okay, so 2 of them are from the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette. One of them is actually in my Pan Those Eyeshadows quintet right now, and it's Marvel, which is this gorgeous bright green shimmer shade. And then the other one is Dream, which is this really pretty metallic light blue shade. And then the other one is more of a neutral shade. It's Rocker. It's a satin kind of taupe color, and that is from the Tartelette in Bloom palette. This is what I have so far. I kind of want to pull just one more and see where we go from there. So my next one is 14 again. And 21. 21 is Smarty Pants from the Tartelette in Bloom palette. So we do have a matte shade, and this one kind of has a pink undertone. Dare I pick one more? I'm not sure. I'm just gonna do it. We got 25, which is Sweetheart. I was mistaken. Smarty Pants was what I had earlier, and it's not the pink one. It's actually the light brown one. And then the one I just picked was Sweetheart, which was that pink one. That's so odd. I'll just maybe pull something from the Tartelette in Bloom palette if I want to deepen it up a little bit. I am glad I got a decent mix of mattes and shimmers though. That was something I had issues with the Urban Decay. I think I had like 4 shimmers and 1 satin. So I pulled you in a little bit closer. I have my mirror in front of me, and I'm just going to get started. I do have the ABH eyeshadow primer on my lids, and then I set it with these 2 creamy shades here, Charmer and Flower Child from the In Bloom palette. And I did the rest of my face, my eyebrows. I have everything except for highlighter on, and the rest of my eye makeup. I think I'm going to start with that pinky Sweetheart shade with a fluffy brush. This is the ColourPop E2 brush, and I'm just going to work that into the crease to get started, focusing on the outer thirds but blending it into the inner half as well. I love the mattes from the In Bloom palette. I've had this palette for quite a few years now, and they are super, super blendable. I think I'm going to start by putting that blue shade on the inner half of the lid. I did wet it a little bit, and I'm just going to pack that on the inner half. That's really pretty. I don't wear blue eyeshadow that much. Wow, it's already like a foiled metallic shade, but when you wet it, it really takes it to another level. Then I'm going to take that satiny color Rocker from the Tartelette in Bloom palette, and I'm going to pack that on the outer half of my lid. I think I'm also going to wet that. And I'm just going to put it on the outer third. I really like the cooler and the blue. I'm going to go in just a tiny bit with Smoke Show, which is that cool toned deeper brown. Just a little bit on a fluffier brush, just to like slightly deepen up that outer half. Going back in with that pinky Sweetheart shade again, to make sure that's still visible in the crease. I am going to put a little bit more of that blue on the lower lash line, just on the inner half, and then I'm going to take Marvel, that green shimmer shade, and pop that on the inner corner. And I'm going to very slightly bring it onto the lid and onto the lower lash line, just so the green and the blue kind of blend together. Then I'm going to take the last shade that I haven't used yet, Smarty Pants. I'm going to put that on the lower lash line, on the outer third, and then go back in with that blue and just meet with that brown so that it blends a little bit more nicely. Going back in a tiny bit with that darker Smoke Show shade, making sure to like have barely anything on my brush, and just going in and deepening up the outer thirds just to make sure that there is like enough depth And then lastly, going in with that brush with that crease shade, Sweetheart, the pinker one, not adding anything else to the brush, but just going in and making sure everything's properly blended. There was virtually no fallout, but I think using a lot of the shades wet really helped out, and just going in really lightly with the darker shades helped me as well. But I really like that pop of blue, the blue and the green, and then the mix of the cooler tones and warmer tones of the browns. I'm going to add some eyeliner, put on a highlighter, do the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be back. Okay, so for highlighter, I decided to go with the Pure Afterglow highlight. I had it in my makeup basket anyway, and I thought it was just enough to add a nice glow without taking away from the rest of the look. And then on the lip, I of course wore my favorite, Perla from Stila. I really should wear blue eyeshadow more. I don't know why I shy away from it as much as I do, especially with that green on the inner corner. I think that makes it really interesting. I love how this look turned out. I'm always so pleasantly surprised with how my looks turn out with these palette bingos. The next two brands that I can do this with are ABH, and with Too Faced, I now have two Too Faced palettes. Would you have done something differently with this color combo? Let me know in the comments. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!